Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm talking to author Cristee Cook. Cristee is the author of children's book Your Hands Can Change the World, and also a poetry chapbook on the subjects of love, spirituality, and desire. Hello, Cristee, welcome, and thank you for coming back on Book Talk Radio Club.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, would you like to give Book Talk Radio Club's listeners a brief idea of what Your Hands Can Change the World is all about?
Yes, thank you. Your Hands Can Change the World is a picture book for young readers about how we can use our two hands to take action in the world, that actions of sharing. And hopefully by thinking about why we have hands and what we can do with them, we create a mindset of personal responsibility, personal insight, sharing, unity, and how little things that we do really do make a difference in the world.
Absolutely. You've got two children, you have two children, and you realise that you wanted to teach children how to access a deeper meaning to daily life. How do you do that in your book?
Right. So, yes, I do. I have two little ones. They're 3 and 7, so they keep me active and aware. And they did really, I definitely, my personality and my whole lifestyle, of course, changed a lot after I had children. And I just really started thinking about what kind of person I really wanted to be so that I could make sure that I helped them be their best. And for me, a deeper meaning to life just means being conscious and aware in your life, not going through life on autopilot, going through life thinking, how do my actions affect the people around me? How do my choices affect the bigger picture of my life? And hopefully, the actions that we take, the words that we use, we're treating everybody that we meet with basic human dignity.
Absolutely. Good answer.
So the book talks about, help your mom clean up after a long and busy day. Just little things that we can do with our hands.
That right there will get mums buying your book.
I hope so. Yeah.
So, what age group is Your Hands Can Change the World aimed at?
Yes, I would say it's a wide range of ages, only because if you'd like to do a read aloud version of the book, like for a story time in a classroom, it seems that it holds the attention of kindergarten to about 2nd grade.
Right.
So that would be 5 to 7-ish or 8. The little ones from about 3 to 5, they do like it as well, but better for a little older. And then I have some 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds that seem to really like it. They like to read it. They like to talk about it. And there are some ideas that they can contemplate and talk about.
That's great. So you can say it appeals to kids of all ages.
Yeah, and grown-ups too. The lesson we can all remember. But yeah, I would say 5 to 11.
You have accompanying material on your website, Use Your Hands to Share, Exercises for Hearts and Hands, which is an educational resource to extend and reinforce the book's lessons and values. What is the accompanying material? Is it downloadable?
Yes. So Use Your Hands to Share, Exercises for Hearts and Hands is like a little bound booklet where you can download it. That would be my recommendation because it just makes it easier to access each exercise. You can make photocopies and things like that. The origin of the whole thing was I was going to book signings and doing book fairs and meeting people, and I had a lot of teachers and homeschool moms ask me, are there any exercises that you could suggest? And so I created a booklet based on the feedback I got from my readers. And you can download it off my website. You just click on the link. You can go to mycirclegame.com, click on books, scroll down. I even have an ebook bundle. That's an ebook of the book and then the PDFs that go with it. There's several options to access it. And I'm pretty proud of it. And when I do public events, people do tend to purchase the bundle because I think they can see the value of reinforcing the lessons.
Yeah. And it just shows you, doesn't it? You go out and you meet your readers and they'll come up with ideas that you had never even thought of.
Well, yeah. I mean, it it's really like the whole idea of don't be afraid to put yourself out there and don't be afraid to take feedback.
Exactly.
Because people really can, sometimes you're too close to the project and you need feedback so that you can see what else is possible with your project.
Yeah.
So I really loved that. That was actually something that I learned right away. It was like really strong, clear feedback, like at the first event. And I thought, okay, I've got something here. So we did it.
You've recently written and published This Morning I Woke, a poetry chapbook on the subjects of love, spirituality and desire. I have to ask, what is a chapbook? I've never heard of that.
I love this question. Thank you so much for asking me about it. So yes, a chapbook is actually a traditional, like kind of old school format for a book of poetry. And it's like the idea that you can literally just put it in your pocket and take it with you. And
right, got you. Oh, we seem to have a problem here. Hello? Cristee, are you there?
Yeah.
Sorry, they went down for a moment. Sorry, just say that again. You're saying it was an old-fashioned way of carrying a book.
Yeah, it's like an old method of binding books.
Right.
It's like, so imagine a small little like pamphlet.
Right.
About 6 by 9, and then it has a string binding, like they thread the binding through, they sew the binding. But it's very flat and very small. You can put it down in your suit pocket, you can put it in your bag,
right.
And wherever you go, you could just quickly pull it out and read it. Yeah. And it's called a chapbook. It's a small book of poems. It's got 12 poems.
Right. And so it's almost like a comfort book, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So are the poems for children, or is this poetry for adults?
You know, I would say that this is really more poetry for adults.
Right.
And the poetry book is just something I've really always wanted to do. And I have a dear husband who's so encouraging. He wouldn't leave me alone about it, so I just did it.
That's nice. Well, but why poetry now? Why the subjects of love, spirituality and desire in particular?
Why poetry now? Well, yes, because I've always been a poet. I've always written poems down in my notebook, and I've never done anything with them, so it's taking me a little longer than I thought to do my second children's book.
Right.
And I just really wanted to create something just for me.
Would you like to read one of the poems?
Well, sure. The subjects of love, spirituality, and desire, I don't know. That's just what they became.
Okay.
This seems what I write about. So I will read one about a true story. It doesn't have a title.
Okay. Go for it.
This morning I drove out to Mount Scott. When I got to the top, I looked toward the horizon, then below to the valley. My focus landed on the rocks just below the edge, their flat top, each an inviting seat, a little cluster of stability. More than a view, I wanted a bubble. I stepped down off the edge, aiming for a patch of earth. I slipped, I stumbled and rolled 2 times over the landscape, a rough tumble, bones against ancient earth. I thought, I'm going to fall all the way down, I'm going to die here. Instead, I landed quietly against a large boulder, a guardian who held up the mountain, and me.
That's lovely.
Thank you.
That's really lovely. I'm very impressed with that.
Thank you.
You've published This Morning I Woke on Lulu in paperback. Will you also be publishing Kindle on Amazon?
Yes, I'm still researching the best outlet for this little book.
Right.
Right now it's working really well for me to just have it on Lulu, just for cost reasons.
Right.
And I would like to make an ebook version. It is in process, and I anticipate it being released within the next 6 weeks or so.
Back to Your Hands Can Change the World. I understand you're working on a second edition, which you just said you were doing. What changes have you made, and what will you be adding?
Okay, thank you for asking. I'm going to have a hardcover option.
Right.
Right now it's only in paperback. You create something and then you go back and you can see ways that maybe you overlook certain things. There's actually one stanza in the book that's not correct.
Right.
And nobody knows it but me, but it bothers me every time. And there are a couple of illustrations I would just like to upgrade. Also, some of the formatting of the illustrations I want to change. And I'd like to put some of my exercises from your hands, use your hands to share, just in the back. Not all of them, but just a few. Because I do think it's so valuable for educators and people that want to teach the children along with the book. So just a little bit of an upgrade, I would say, is what to expect on that.
You've been doing weekly story times at a local play centre in Dallas. How's that going? Are you incorporating Your Hands Can Change the World as part of it?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is an indoor play place called the Kids Play Company, and they've got the cutest setup. All kinds of different little little vignettes that the children can play in. And I take my son there. He's 3, so he's not in school yet. And I just got to talking to the owner, and it has evolved over time. And he's doing a great job of marketing his business by having additional activities that you can purchase along with the indoor play. So I'm one of those attractions, and we do read Your Hands Can Change the World, and we do themes.
Right.
So when we do that, Your Hands Can Change the World, the theme is usually about the 5 senses. So we sing songs about the 5 senses. We read my book and different books that deal with 5 senses, and we talk about how we can use our bodies and our brains in the world to be the best people we can be.
Wonderful.
It's going good. It's going good.
I bet.
Super sweet.
But I can hear your enthusiasm for it as well, which makes an awful lot of difference. What is my circle game? Tell me about that.
Thank you for asking. This is a common question. So that is the title of basically my blog and the business I'm trying to create here. My circle game is just a way of me to focus on my life and my outlook on my life. And I'm sharing about my life as a spiritual person, as a spiritual parent, as a storyteller and poet. It's My Circle Game is my website. It's my blog. And have you ever noticed, Claire, that maybe we have some issues in our life that we can circle back to?
Yeah.
No matter where we're at in our life, no matter what phase, maybe we think we've licked it, and then it sort of shows up. And life can be a circle. Time can be a circle. But what if we looked at life like it was a game?
Wonderful.
And how would that change our outlook?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to share on my blog.
And you offer creative workshops for adults via My Circle Game. What are these creative workshops about?
So my most popular one is called Write to Change Your World. And I take you through a series of very specific writing exercises that help you look at your thoughts objectively so that you can transform your thoughts. So let's say you're dealing with something like sadness. We go through a series of exercises that help you transform it to something that you can actually use versus just being stuck in the feeling.
Right.
When I created it because when I was writing every day in my journal, I felt like I was just perpetuating my suffering, like venting.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was a way to change it to where it was a productive tool for me.
Yeah, there comes a point, doesn't there, when you can keep going on and on about something and you end up feeling sorry for yourself, and you know you've got to actually step out of that and move on.
Right. So this helps do that. And I used this technique. It took me a little while to develop it. Then I used it on myself for almost a year, and then I got my book hard in my head, and I knew what I could write about. So it's a technique that works.
Back to books. So what's next on the writing front for Cristee Cook? More poetry or more children's books?
I think both. More poetry, more children's books, more blogs, more everything. I'm very excited to share that I'm working on the second book in the series, and it's going to be about the words we use and how the energy of words affects our world. A little different of an illustration style. I'm really looking forward to sharing more about it when it's closer to publication. So I'm focused on that, and I'm really building up my blog more, my circle game, and just doing all of it.
Fantastic. So lastly, where can Book Talk Radio Club's listeners purchase, I know we said it before, but let's repeat it so people can hear, purchase Your Hands Can Change the World and also this morning our book?
So Your Hands Can Change the World. You can always purchase it directly from me on my website, mycirclegame.com, It's also on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and BalboaPress.com. This Morning I Woke is on Lulu.com, also directly on my website, mycirclegame.com. Or if you're in the Dallas, Texas area, come visit me at a book signing. And we'll get you set up.
I
Yeah.
like how you sneaked that last bit in.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you, Cristee. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club. I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future. And thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you very much, Cristee.
Thanks so much, Claire. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you.